Right guys, what is going on? BusterBarnes here, bringing you my review of Chelsea's 0-0 draw at home to Sevilla in our first game of the Champions League. Not the most enthralling of games, however there were some talking points, and as always I'll be going through the key moments of the match, plus giving you guys my player ratings and going through my player of the season point scoring system as well, which will all build up to the end of the season, where we will decide who our player of the season is based off of all of these ratings. So do stay tuned for that. If you guys enjoy these reviews, please be sure to leave a like, comment down below your player ratings and what you thought of the game as well. I would love to hear your guys' opinions. Plus, as always, be sure to subscribe for more Chelsea FC content, as well as Fantasy Premier League and FIFA 21 as well. With that said, let's get into last night's game. Okay, so the formation that Chelsea did go with was a 4-2-3-1, as predicted, pretty similar to the team that I went with. Now, I did go for Hakim Ziyech to start on the wing, however, I did also say that he might not be fit enough to start. That was the case. Mason Mount did come onto the wing, actually started in the first half on the left-hand side, which, like we've all said and thought before, we don't really understand why Pulisic is put out on the right. However, that did change at half-time. Reece James also got the start over Cesar Azpilicueta, which I was completely fine with as well. And luckily for all of us, to the joy of Chelsea fans, Edouard Mendy was available to be in goal over Caballero or Kepa. He had a pretty decent performance as well, but we will get onto that in this game that maybe wasn't full of so many moments, but you can take some positives from it. Getting into the first half, nothing really of note. Edouard Mendy did, however, make a fairly good save where he was going down and palmed the ball away out of danger. It did seem like Sevilla were targeting our right-hand side a bit, going against Reece James. Pulisic maybe not the best always at tracking back, not that you'd expect him to be, but Reece James honestly was an absolute beast. Really took on like in a lot of 2v1 situations against the Sevilla players and really held his own. A really professional performance from the young Englishman in this game. Ben Chilwell doing well. Our defence really just looking a lot more solid than it did against Southampton. A few maybe little hiccups. Zuma did give away the ball maybe once as well, but besides that was still a decent performance from him. Jorginho got a yellow card quite early on, so that maybe affected his play for a little bit during the game. But yeah, attacking wise there wasn't too much to talk about. In the first half, Pulisic struggled a bit on the right hand side. Mount did his general pressing and good defensive work, but didn't really add much going forward. Werner, you could see, was always trying to get in those pockets of space and really was trying to get some shots off to make some goals happen, but unfortunately couldn't do it. Going into the second half, it was a bit more of the same. We did force a save from the Sevilla keeper. It was more Mendy though, who I thought was the more impressive, or maybe the most challenged out of the two in terms of shot quality. I think the overall shots were only 6-5, so really not a really exciting end-to-end game. Both teams really did match each other well defensively and offensively. I think if anything, offensively going forward, maybe Sevilla did look a little bit better. But yeah, they got an injury as well. One of their defenders getting a hamstring injury, having to come off, but that didn't really faze them too much. And yeah, pretty much it just ended 0-0. Ziyech did get some minutes coming on from Mount. Kovacic came on as well. Abraham and Hudson-Odoi came on in like the 90th minute, which I didn't really understand. I know you want to give people a run out, but they can't change the game at the 90th minute. I would have definitely put them on with about, 10 minutes left. I thought they were put on way too late to even have any sort of impact in the game, so that was a little bit disappointing. But the one positive we can take, guys, is that we did get the clean sheet. After conceding 3 to Southampton, our defence being a bit all over the place, getting the clean sheet was definitely something we needed, and that's definitely the back line that we do need to stick with going forward. Maybe with Azpi and Reece James rotating a bit, but Thiago Silva, Kurt Zouma, Chilwell and Mendy are must-haves in that back line. As we saw, Kante and Jorginho decent in the pivot as well. I do think that is our best team and probably the lineup we should be going with against Manchester United. But yeah, not loads to talk about in that game, like I said, guys. But with that said, let's go into a bit more depth when talking about the player ratings. Okay, so player ratings, starting off in goal, I'm going to be giving Edouard Mendy a 7 out of 10. Wasn't tested loads, however, when he was, he did pull off some fairly comfortable saves. I mean, it's pretty crazy nowadays how just a goalkeeper doing what should be simple things for a goalkeeper actually makes us Chelsea fans rejoice and just be amazed, as we haven't seen our goalkeepers actually do that with Kepa and Caballero. Caballero's alright, but he's still a bit flappy hands, but Mendy did look really composed and deal really well, again making a good save in the first half, like I mentioned. A decent save in the second as well, I do believe. Getting onto the back line, Chilwell, good solid performance from him. He's really been quite solid since he came into the squad from his injury. Did look a bit dangerous going into the attack, putting some crosses into the box. But like I said, really, it wasn't really a very attack-minded game in general. But he did look solid, really put some good defensive work in against Sevilla. There was a reason why they were trying to go down the other side during many of their attacks. He did well against Jesus Navas as well, the experienced Sevilla right-back and their captain. So I'm going to be giving Ben Chilwell a 7 out of 10 as well, same as Edouard Mendy. Kurt Zouma I'm going to be giving a 6. He kept the clean sheet, however he did make one mistake which could have been a bit more catastrophic, but luckily we had Ben Chilwell to bail him out. That's another reason why Ben Chilwell gets a 7. And it's really good to see that we've actually got a competent left back who will actually cover for our centre-backs if they do rarely make a mistake. I mean, Zouma has only made that mistake and made one against Southampton as well. I hear some people talking about, oh, he needs to improve, you know, he might not be able to be part of the team if he's going to keep making mistakes. He's made 2 mistakes in 2 games. When was the last time he made a mistake before that, to be honest? I mean, it's been a really long time. He's been so solid. He might be going through a little down patch of form, but I think we need to back him, and I think that he should hopefully recover from that quickly, especially in a more stable back line that he can hopefully get a few games with the same players. But he is going to get a 6 just because he did look maybe the more shaky of our back line. He did win a lot of aerials though and did look threatening in the Sevilla box, but unfortunately couldn't score. So yeah, he gets a 6, got the clean sheet, so solid from him. Thiago Silva going to get a 6.5, looked very solid. I think may have been playing with a little bit of an injury. Apparently there was a point before in the training or in the pre-match warm-up, I didn't see because I only tuned in as soon as the match began, where he looked like he might be suffering from a little bit of a knock, but he carried on through. He looked fine. Hopefully he'll be alright for the Manchester United game, as he will be crucially needed for that game, otherwise we could be in a little bit of trouble. So yeah, decent performance from him, looked composed, looking to ping the ball left and right down the channels. So yeah, decent performance from Thiago Silva. He'll be getting a 6.5 out of 10. Reece James, in my opinion, our best player of the night. Had to take on 2 Sevilla players at points, really used his strength where was bodying players, putting good crosses, dangerous crosses into the box. Was really just a solid performance from him. I thought he was all over the place, and yeah, he's going to get a 7.5 out of 10. Really good from him, and I was a bit worried of him in the team because I saw how solid we were with Azpilicueta, and I thought, well, Reece James maybe doesn't communicate as much, so maybe that could be a hindrance. It didn't seem to be a hindrance at all. He had a really professional performance, really good dribbles, really good passing, and yeah, just a really solid professional performance from him, hence why he's getting a 7.5 rating. Going into the double pivot, Kante's going to get a 6 out of 10. Lost the ball maybe a few times and got dispossessed. However, he did make some good tackles and did also, you know, look a little bit more energetic in the middle. He definitely wasn't bad by any means. Maybe not prime Kante yet, but hopefully he can reach that form eventually. Obviously, we are still in the sort of pre-season / beginning of the season stage of the season. Jorginho's going to get a 6.5. Maybe could have gone a little bit higher, however he did pick up the yellow card which hindered this game. Could have actually got sent off in the first half as well for a second yellow, but he was quite lucky. I didn't think it was a yellow, but you never know with these referees. The referee in this game was a little bit dodgy at times, but yeah, Jorginho, decent in the middle, was ordering players around, was trying to ping balls down the channels and forwards. Maybe not as good as his Southampton performance, but still solid, so 6.5 for him. Now going into the forward line, Kai Havertz is going to get a 5.5 from me. Now, to be fair to him, he was decent in the defensive phase. He did make quite a lot of tackles. He also won some good aerial duels as well. So it is nice to see that he actually can do the defensive work. However, going forward, really just as a whole, we weren't too impressive. I do just think that that's why he gets a 5.5, because really his ultimate goal here is to attack and create, and I don't think he necessarily did that as well as he did going back, so 5.5 for him. Same with Mason Mount, didn't really add much going forward. Again, Prest did his work, but didn't really add anything creatively going forwards. Pulisic's going to get a 6, because I do think that once he was put on the left in the second half, he looked a lot more dangerous, and he did look like, he was trying to get in the box, trying to maybe create or score a goal, so I think with his energy he does deserve a 6. Timo Werner I'm going to actually give a 6.5, just because even though he didn't score and it maybe wasn't his best day out, he was constantly trying to make stuff happen. You could see how frustrated he was. He was getting shots off, trying to break through. A few unfortunate heavy touches maybe cost him getting a goal or two. So yeah, I do think that he was quite good, but yeah, unfortunately couldn't find the back of the net. But I do think he does deserve a rating just above the average. Like I said later in the game, Hakim Ziyech came on, actually did again some good defensive work, making I believe 3 tackles in the game. But he's going to get a 6. He didn't really add much. People wondering maybe why he doesn't start over Mount. I think even in the Manchester United game we might be seeing Mount start again. I don't think Ziyech's done enough coming off the bench to show why he should be starting. Maybe he'll start next week when we're away to Krasnodar, so that could be interesting as well. Not too sure if he's not fully fit or maybe just a bit rusty. That's probably the case. But yeah, he's going to get a 6. Same with Kovacic, same with Tammy, same with Hudson-Odoi. Didn't really have any chances to do anything. Kovacic did bring a bit more energy to the team. However, like I said, at that point in the game, it was basically just both teams really just seemed to be happy with the draw. They were trying to attack, but nothing was really coming of it. So all 6s for them. Those are going to be my player ratings. Let me know yours down below. Let me know if you agree with me. But now getting on to my player of the season point scoring system, where I'm going to give one player 1 point, one player 2 points, and one player 3 points, all to be tallied up and go towards the final scoring at the end of the season, which is still a long way away. Now, I have actually rated Edouard Mendy and Ben Chilwell the same. However, I'm going to be giving Edouard Mendy 2 points and Ben Chilwell 1 point, mainly because this is nothing against Chilwell. I didn't maybe notice him too much in the match. Maybe that was just me. Maybe I was looking away at points. And I'm not saying he was bad. Like I said, he gets a 7 out of 10. But I just noticed Mendy a bit more. It was a second clean sheet for him as well, and he did make a good save, which, whilst it could be a save you might argue other keepers should make, when you've got keepers like Kepa and Caballero who probably wouldn't have made those saves, I do think it was decent from him. He was relaxed and composed at the back as well, so I am going to give him the 2 points. 3 points is obviously going to go to my man of the match, Reece James. Now, I looked on the Chelsea Twitter page and other pages, and Reece James hasn't been voted as man of the match by some people. It was either given to like Mendy or Chilwell. I thought that Reece James was quite fairly comfortably our best player in the game, but maybe people disagree. I'm not too sure, but I think he delivered some great crosses into the box, really used his physicality and body well. There was one point where he got tackled and Sevilla went through in the first half, but I actually thought that was a foul. I just think the ref didn't give it for some reason. So yeah, I think that Reece James was actually quite comfortably our player of the match, and it is going to get all 3 points from me, as you'll be able to see how the scores tally up. As always, I hope you guys did enjoy my review. Like I said, not too much to talk about of a 0-0 draw. Hopefully our game against Manchester United is going to be more exciting for the right reasons. Hopefully we can get the win. Stay tuned for my preview on that coming soon. And yeah, hope you guys have a nice day. Please be sure to like and subscribe. I will see you next time.